Hi, this is Michelle Free from Jazz Social Media, and this is the Internet Marketing Plan and Website Development Plan that I created for you. The first thing that we want to start with is the web page itself. And on the web page, we'll probably want to have a blog that includes office news, industry news, products and plans. And then we'll want to have the regular things like you talked about, the contact information, biographies, success stories, example cases. You said maybe some layout plans, things like that, and some references. On the left here, I show some things that we want to put on the web that will help people find the page itself. We start with URLs. We want to have good addresses that'll help people find us. We want to have on-page SEO, which is search engine optimization, which I do behind the scenes, where I just help the search engines find our page, so when people type in certain keywords, they'll find us. Localized SEO is what people put in for local searches, and that's usually off the page. That's things that I do on the web that I'll show you a little bit about. Then there's, of course, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Those are all social networks that advertise and help people find the page and the products. And then I also have a little printing company that I can do brochures for you that match your web page, that you can pass out to people. You can change them as quickly as you want, because I can print as few or as many as you want. That also includes that we can do cards, anything like that you'd like to pass out to people that show the branding that we use across all the networks and on the web page, that we can also use on printed matter. As I said, the URL is the first thing we want to look at. What internet address do you want? We looked at that a little bit on email, and there are several options for us. We want keyword-rich URLs that help the search engines find us. That we can look at Google usually and put in like helicopter blower assemblies and look at what keywords people use and try to use those in our URLs. Of course, we also want to have the company name in the URL. So we can have the URL that defines what's on the page, also a URL with our company name, and then we want to use one that's short enough also that we can use the same name on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And IFS Services is short enough that that'll be easy. Localized search URLs are what I was talking about, and we'll look at that a little more. These are the URL registration costs, and I also show a few options that I found for you going to HostGator. I didn't find the dot arrow. I've never had that before. We talked about that on email, so I'll have to look that up if that's the one you want. I've never bought that one before. IFSservices.net is available. IFS-services.com. And then a localized one would be IFS Services Colorado, IFS Services USA, and then one that shows what the company does, like if somebody typed this into Google, this one would come up first, Helicopter Blower Assemblies or assembly.com. These on HostGator are $15 a year, which is not a bad price at all. And we can buy one to start with, like IFSservices.net, just start with that, or we can get more if you're interested in trying to get those other pages registered on Google for more hits. The localized SEO, we look up the local searches, like people might put in Blower Assemblies Colorado Springs or something like that, and if we want to make sure that if they put that in, they'll find our page specifically, and that's a keyword-rich URL. But also, if we want to do off-page SEO and make sure that pages like Super Pages, Dexnos, Yellow Pages, Google Places, and City Search all have an entry in there that will help people find our page, and that they'll be updated with reviews, pictures, maps, and things like that. And I also do that as part of my package. Then we want to get hosting for the site. I recommended HostGator. We can do it also on GoDaddy if you'd prefer. I like HostGator better. And as you can see, it starts at $3.96 a month, and depending on everything we want to do, we might have to pay a little more than that. And you usually buy it per year. Oh, and I want to say that I'll do that for you. I'll go to HostGator, I'll set you up an account, I'll find the right stuff, the URL and the hosting, and I'll put it in the cart, and I'll give you guys the login, and then you can just go pay for it. Twitter is something we didn't talk about, but most of my customers want. I'll create a Twitter account for you that matches all of your other pages, so we want branding. I'll make a nice background that matches our website. I'll do Twitter updates every day, and that way people will be able to follow us and they'll find us. So I want to show you a Twitter search I did for helicopter, and it'll show you that there are a lot of people with helicopters who talk about helicopters, are looking for helicopter items on Twitter. This is just a search for helicopter, the word helicopter itself, and you can see that there are a lot of people on Twitter. So what this shows us is that if we get on Twitter, people will find us, and this is international, and people who want helicopter parts are there. So this should help send them to our site. Facebook is another very popular social networking site. Usually we want to post 2 to 3 times a week, and we want to link people back to our blog and what's going on our page as we update it. We can create a landing or welcome page with offers or information. We can put a coupon on there or an offer like come to our page and or like us today and you can get a free book showing what we do, things like that. We want to find friends and other people with common needs and goals. So I looked on Facebook for helicopter, and as Facebook is just getting started up in these things, there aren't quite as many, but if you look here, this helicopter product or service, there's 4,000 people who have liked it, which shows that those people will probably come and like us also. And here's another one with almost 3,000. And then of course there's the international folks, which we might want to reach as well. And there's 100,000 here. YouTube is a favorite of Google. If you're on YouTube, Google's going to find you right away. If you upload a video one day, you'll be on the first page of Google that day for sure if anybody searches for you. We want to, again, brand across networks, so we call it, YouTube/IFS Services. We want to find videos that instruct clients about what we're doing. We can make a video of interviewing people at your site, or we can show a video about how the blowers are used or how to install them, things like that, and we can put them on YouTube, then link to them on our blog so that if they're on our site they can actually play those videos, and then we can talk about those videos on the other sites, on the other networks like Twitter and Facebook. I did a YouTube search here for helicopter blower assemblies. That's more specific. But you can see that there's quite a bit on helicopters and how they work here. So I think that we'd have a pretty good audience if we went ahead and did that. The brochures, we can make them if you'd like to have specific hard copy brochures to hand out. We can make them look just like the website. We can keep them current because my printer can print 10 for you if you're going to talk to a company or someone, or we can print 500 if you want. But I always recommend that we print just as many as we need, so that you can have you know, as little as possible so you don't update and then not have it there. We can put Facebook, Twitter, website, YouTube addresses on there so that people can find us that way. We can also create business cards that match all across, and once we have that logo and colors and everything we want, that'll match the whole. I can print I design brochures for $30 and print them for $1 a piece, so that's a really good deal. The goal of the marketing plan is to bring in new clients, create a positive online presence, and then maintain that presence online, because if people are looking for something, they look online first now, not in the phone book, and if you're not there, it's like you don't exist. So we want to do the very best we can there. Okay, I'd like to tell you a little bit about my costs. We can have a website one-time package where I create the website for $250. You drop the check in the mail to me. I start working. By the end of the week, we should have something that you like, and then we'll just work on it till it's polished and done. And then after we agreed that it's done, after that, website updates will be about $20 an hour. Okay, the website blog package is a little different. We do the same thing. We create the website, and then we have a blog on it, which we update for 2 to 3 times a week with information, with videos from the web, things about the industry, anything we want like that. And then those blog updates and website updates are $80 a month, and we just keep it going and keep the website fresh. The social media package is what most of my clients do, and there's a one-time cost of $350 to create the website blog, your Twitter page, make the background really nice, make it look like your website. Facebook page, same way, create a welcome page, a landing page, do all the graphics to make sure it's branded across networks, and the same thing with the YouTube page. And then monthly, it's $150 a month, and that includes everything, all your website updates, 2 to 3 times per week blog update, daily Twitter updates, and that's several tweets a day, 2 to 3 Facebook posts per week, YouTube posts as we make the videos or find the videos what we want, and then website updates and changes as they're needed. As a comparison, this is a well-known local company which will remain unnamed, but their website creation cost is $5,000, and that's for about 5 pages on the site, which is about what we're going to have. And then you can see their graphic design, making logos, backgrounds, things like that, that are included in my costs are $120 an hour, programming $120 an hour, etc. Training $80 an hour. My training is $20 an hour, and their updates are charged like that, and then they also charge a monthly hosting fee for their site. So you can see that my prices are quite competitive. If you have any more questions or anything, you can contact me by email, or also you can go to my site, jazzsocialmedia.com, and it has some information there, and it shows where some of my clients are. And just let me know and we'll get started. Thanks a lot, and good luck to you.